Today I have Tucker,
Hi.
and my guest is Alex.
Hi. I'm still finishing the cookie you gave me.
That's exactly what I thought you'd be doing.
Really?
People
That's
that
real
people
foresight.
Well, they call me somewhat of a
Yeah.
savant.
Okay. At what?
Oh, I didn't think that far.
You could have
They
just
just
said
call you Savant.
Everything.
You could have just said foresight, but that's okay.
You literally did not have the foresight to say foresight.
It was a one-time use.
Yeah. Oh, that's wow. Transcendental, huh? Cascading.
One-time use. I have a list of questions for you.
You have a list of questions for me?
Yep.
Yeah.
I did not do it, and without my lawyer present, I reserve the right.
That's fair.
To
you
an
know?
attorney.
And you have that right.
As you should. So this is. I gotta say, I'm real honored that you guys have me here.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
Cool.
for your pilot episode, the
Yeah, oh.
first episode that you
Yeah.
guys are gonna have. It feels.
Yeah.
It makes my heart swell that you picked me over anybody else.
Of course. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, when I was thinking making a podcast, I mean, at least I know I can maybe speak for Matt a little bit here. That when he was thinking, he came to me and he was like, "We got to have Alex first, right? And he's got to be the first one."
I mean, it makes me. That's correct, right, Matt? What do you mean?
Matt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the first person you've ever spoken to,
Of
right?
course.
Yes.
It's always been you.
Oh God,
It's
guys,
always
you're gonna make
been
me
you.
blush.
Come on now.
Oh,
course,
I hope
of
I'm in
course.
no way disappointed by those facts.
No. See, this is why it looks like a little not like a like we have our stuff together. You know, we got a notepad here with like our questions
I can
and
see
stuff. You know,
that. I can
so
see
you're our
that.
first one. So
Yeah.
it's like flying by the seat of our pants a little bit.
Right.
So
You
yeah.
had that valet outside. That I
I'm
gave
surprised
my
you even
keys
had to ask, right? I mean, can you like tell?
I expected nothing but the highest of quality from
Oh, okay.
you guys.
Oh,
and
wow.
the idea that you are just
Even on our very first episode.
first try, I absolutely believed it, 100%. That this
Yeah.
is going to be just thrilling and deep and rich information, and it's going to change lives.
Of course.
No small word.
I
It's gonna
believe
change
it.
lives.
Yeah, I believe it might have already had from these
Yeah.
small minutes that we've been recording.
I was about to say because we've
Yeah.
only been recording a few
I was
minutes.
trying to
There's
look
no
for
way you
yeah,
guys
I
have
was
done
I
this
was
before,
trying to
so.
look to see how
definitely
long
not.
we've been recording. I
Yeah.
couldn't
I
find
haven't
it.
done this before.
Yeah,
Good.
of course.
So what
We
do
have done
you,
this before.
Oh,
You have interview
can't-
questions for
I
me, or
can't
should I
do
just
it
get to the
anymore.
stuff I need to plug?
Hold on.
pardon me.
We are
Plug
going,
in. I want to clarify. I got to plug some things in. I got to plug in the hot plate.
I don't
that
have.
You want me to bring?
I have no
It
USB
takes a
ports
while.
open.
No USB. Well,
Yeah.
the hot plate. I mean, I have to directly plug it into a wall.
Did you bring something for said hot plate?
Into the
No,
wall.
'cause
Your
you're-
110 power.
Well, hold on. You guys, the email said that we were doing this ASMR thing, and I was going to be chewing in Tucker's ear a grilled cheese sandwich.
All right. Hey, who sent an email?
I honestly have no idea.
I mean, if there are changes, you can just tell me, and I'll put down the hot plate. But I got to put this hot plate. I got to plug in this hot plate.
Even if you're not, if it's not going to be a part of this podcast.
We're not doing the ASMR.
This is
Grilled cheese?
hypothetical. I was just asking.
Okay.
ASMR grilled cheese. No.
Now I just want a grilled
What do
cheese.
you mean no?
No, we're not doing that.
Okay. Well,
And
Well, this is nothing.
now
like
I just want
email.
grilled cheese.
God, yeah, doesn't that sound good?
I know.
oh,
It's a little cold out too.
And honestly,
you should
grilled
never
cheese
say
on a
no.
hot plate isn't a bad idea.
You don't
No,
have a
it's
hot
not.
plate though. The jig is up. We could do that? That's all I heard in all of the chatter is that we could do that. Never say no, we could do that. So
Yeah.
if I don't get a grilled cheese, it's your fault. And
Wonderful.
I'm
Wonderful.
upset.
okay. So back to business.
Oh yeah, business.
Take a caller. Caller number 1. What do you have?
There's no callers.
It should be.
We're gonna
What
talk.
kind of operation are you running, sir? The email's been wrong. There's no place to plug in my hot plate. You're saying we don't get to do the grilled cheese ASMR.
Yeah, just wait and see what you're chained up to later.
Oh, no, I signed that. That I signed for. I'm well aware of that. And I'm looking forward to it, but I don't know if it's going to be the same without the grilled cheese.
Okay, so we're gonna get into a little bit of Nintendo.
Okay.
Then we're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna get into some random shit.
And then take callers. Caller
Yeah.
number 1.
Caller
You
number
are
1.
up. What do we have here?
The callers aren't up yet, so you can't just.
Yeah, but we don't have callers. It's not connected yet.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
we will
okay.
have callers.
They're
We'll have
coming.
real
They're coming.
callers.
Good. I expect them.
I don't know. Okay.
Just hit those buttons right now if you want to call in.
It'll probably just be like JT when he's like on his bathroom break at home at work or something. I
Oh,
don't know.
okay.
I have heard,
That's not bad.
actually, that the best times for podcasts are bathroom breaks. Especially if you take the full 30 minutes to half an hour to an hour or so that you can...
Surprisingly, our
Listen
podcasts
to
have
your
been rather
podcast?
long, and this one will probably be rather long as well. I cut it. I tried to keep them an hour and a half. And people are fine with it. A couple people text me
People are
said they
fine
liked
with
it. So
Honestly, I think it does. You could do either way. You could do either like 30 minutes or you could do an hour
And then what if we combined those times?
to an hour and a half.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy, right?
I mean, has
Fucking
anyone thought of
groundbreaking.
that before?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
and that's
This is
why I
real
said, you guys are gonna
groundbreaking
be
stuff here.
changing, yeah, changing lives.
Yeah. And I feel like we already have a little bit.
I'm so happy
Just
to
kidding.
be
No, we
here.
haven't.
okay,
Nintendo.
what do you think is the coolest Nintendo product?
The level of hatred that any Nintendo game can generate between friends and family. I
Yeah.
am
Yeah, I am so on board with that answer. The
And-
amount of times.
first time listeners. Because this is our first episode. I am interacting in my life with more children at the age of 11 and under than I ever have before.
Because of Nintendo. Because
Nintendo's a good gateway.
Yeah.
I did have an 11-year-old smacking me with a pillow because I made sure there was no mercy in Mario Party.
well,
I took no prisoners.
as you shouldn't. That's my firm philosophy as well. I mean,
100%.
how are you going to learn to be as good as me if you're not getting smacked around by
Right, I
someone as
think
good
that
as me?
11 or 12 is the exact age where you can stop letting the kids win.
Oh, I
and
never
start
let
teaching
them
them
win.
important life lessons.
Oh, I never let them win.
Oh, never?
No.
Just when you're- Okay.
No.
You guys are
Well, at least
evil.
you're
I always let
confident.
them win.
Why? They need to learn.
Yeah, but it's
I
nice
never
to
let
win
my niece and
sometimes.
nephew win, but sometimes they sneak one in on me. I'll give
Well,
them
that's
that.
true too, and that is if we're
But I
talking about
never let them win.
great feature of Nintendo, the fact that no matter how many times I've played Super Smash Brothers, I can lose to the 11-year-old that just got lucky.
I never
And also
let
bad.
them win without a fight. I'm at the very. Don't count me out. Don't count Uncle Tuck
Oh.
up. Out, up, in. Hello.
One time, Nintendo caused me to throw a can at Tucker's head.
That was true.
This is a true story.
This is
folks.
very true.
Anecdote it up.
I was living in a fantasy realm where I thought I was good at Super Smash Brothers Melee.
As
I
all people do.
being someone who just played against his sister over and over again in computers, I thought I was a walking god, and in no small manner that. Ego, it's a thing we carry. And then
And it can be bruised.
oh God, was it bruised? I challenged our dear friend Tucker here to a match. And he goes, yeah, sure, 3 stock, why not? And I'm like, 3 lives? I'm not going to need that many.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was schoolyard shamed so hard, and exactly what my precious, precious ego deserved at the time, that I landed no hits. I got a hold of nothing. I was trapped and duped like a dumb pony being led to what is the glue factory that was Tucker 3-stalking me in front of maybe 11 friends that I had been talking large amounts of smack to.
Yeah.
And
per
I
usual.
think there was always that like Simpsons joke or Family Guy joke where they go back to the Stone Age and
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just threw a filled can at Tucker's head.
Yeah.
And just
Oh,
even
wait,
though
wait,
I know
wait,
it-
Go back.
it
You-
luckily
you
missed.
threw a
It didn't
filled
miss.
can. Of
Yes,
what's a
it was a
filled can?
It was a
Yeah.
beer. It was beer.
libations. It was a can of libations.
What's that?
Oh.
They're special drinks that once you're 21 and up or under like we were, you can find them places like gas stations.
Yeah, I already said beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think we can do that. Is that cool? Can we let that fly? What does
think
that
we
even
can.
matter?
I think we're
It's a
outside of the
beverage. I
statute
can
of
drink it.
limitations. Yeah. Anyways, as
Yeah,
I was
living
throwing
in the
this
moment.
rage
so I
can,
know.
yeah,
Yeah, rage can. It was actually horrifying. I was,
it was
very scared.
horrifying.
But it was only for a second though. And then I was
Yes.
just, and then like Alex gave me that look, like he was like mad, but then he was like, "Man, I kind of shouldn't have thrown a can at your head." And I was like, "Well, that's okay. It missed.
it
If
was-
it hit me, that would suck. But if it missed, it's just like, yeah, I've been there. I've been upset.
It was the high school equivalent of being possessed by the devil for a hot 10
Right,
seconds.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I was just like, blood and death will
Yeah,
reign because
yeah.
I am hurt. I
I-
am so badly embarrassed right now.
I will also admit
and then you
that-
dodge the can.
Yeah.
So I throw it at him, and like a ninja, he's still laughing at me as he dodges sideways, maintaining eye contact, and
Yeah.
zooms the other way and tuggers back up.
I will
And
admit, I
that's-
kind of.
I think I needed that in my life.
Yeah, I
more than
also
anything.
kind of deserved getting that can thrown at me too, because Alex, just as Alex pointed out, I was like, fucking, I like beat his ass, and then I was like laughing, and I was like, oh, man, that might have been a little too much. There,
mean,
Wow,
he was talking large amounts of shit.
large amounts.
Large
I would-
amounts, but I don't think I don't think I needed to like do it. That was probably a little too much. Beating your ass was fine. I didn't need to laugh about.
Well, I think that
in the video game, by the way, if somehow someone got lost or like
yes,
sidetracked,
yeah.
I did not physically
is
beat
not a-
Alex's ass. That
yeah.
also probably would not happen. He's probably got 5 inches of reach on me.
Yeah.
I don't think I could actually get there
Yeah.
before anything happened.
And back when I was drinking, that's really not a
Yeah.
good combination. And throwing beer cans at the head is one of the reasons we stopped drinking.
That's probably a good red
Yeah.
flag to probably
It's
acknowledge.
right. I'm not dead, so that's a great thing. And
Yeah,
there
it
were
is.
times
It is. You're
where
here
it
for the
was
first podcast, so that's
Uh-huh.
really cool.
Yeah, and really, that's the honor. That's how you
Yeah.
know you're giving it forward. Is
Yeah.
that I'm here for this first podcast,
Right.
and it's
The Christendom.
gonna change lives. It's gonna change lives.
All right.
I think that,
I actually do adore that answer though. What do you think is the coolest Nintendo product? Rage that builds towards
Yeah.
your family. The amount of times that I have been upset at Nintendo because my family was beating me in it, it's probably a little too
Yeah.
much. The little kid anger just
it's just
just
there. It just
boils up, and
kinda
you're
happens.
like,
and some of it
just
is half
screeching.
the fun.
Yeah.
now, is to
Yeah.
either
Oh, for
whoop
sure.
or lose to the kids, and they get. We have a weird Nintendo touchstone existence for us because we grew up with it.
Yeah.
So we know both ends of that behaviors.
100%.
Whereas my dad at least, was just obliterating me until he couldn't anymore, and then
Yeah.
I got him and he stopped playing.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's-
is fair. Which
this
is
is
fair.
fair.
I can understand that. Okay, it's past my prime. I should probably stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Retire.
I was always famous for my mom and sister like to poke fun at me. I was always famous for if I lost, I would just get up or either reset or turn the console off. And it's like,
Flip
no,
the game board.
No.
Wow.
We're done.
One
Yeah.
of my brothers, when I would beat him in Tony Hawk, he would just break the controller.
Oh yeah. See, that's.
I don't know how you do that.
I never went that far. Sometimes, I think there have been at least a couple times where I've like thrown the controller on the ground, but not because someone beat me, but just because I was like so frustrated at like a video game or
Yeah.
something. I believe, like
Especially
a
if it happens in a one-player game.
Yeah,
Like by
yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
And you're
exactly.
like,
And I'm
there's
like,
no one to
I'm
hate
like,
right now.
Yeah. Only yourself. So you just throw the controller down. I've done that maybe once or twice.
I've done that.
Yeah.
Kids
You ever
these
broke?
days
I'm
burn
pretty sure you've
through
broken a controller, Matt. I'm pretty sure you've thrown a controller. And
Yeah,
broken
back
Yeah.
when I used to play Halo and punched holes in doors.
it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up. I was gonna say there was like your door. You literally made your door like half of it was gone,
Yeah.
and it still stood up. It did. It did what doors do.
In the
Gave
most
you
basic
privacy.
sense.
Yeah, it gave you privacy. It shut.
It said, this room closes.
But man, it was just
take a quick
barely
break.
hanging in there. Okay.
Put it in a higher pitch, and then you're good. You have your Christmas version.
And we're back.
All I want
On,
dancing.
on to the next question here, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, because
Bring
we
it
got
up.
through the first one real effectively. Then we go to calls.
Yeah.
Then we do the ASMR.
Yeah.
Then we get the cheese, grilled cheeses.
We're putting grilled cheese first.
How do
Yeah,
you
sure,
feel about the Wii U?
Oh, I didn't buy it.
Yeah, this is
Didn't have that one. If that tells you 100% for someone who's had Nintendo, N64, GameCube, which I loved,
Yeah.
Wii,
Yeah.
skip the Wii U but got the Switch.
Yeah.
I,
feel
think
like,
they emotionally did too.
I feel like the Wii U is just a precursor for the Switch. It was just some beta testing.
Yeah, it
It was
really
just
feels like beta
Help,
testing.
yeah, help us figure this out more, people. Give us some feedback. Do you like this? Do you
Yeah.
need more? You need
Nintendo,
less?
if you want to sponsor and you want to call us,
Oh my
offers
god,
on there.
Nintendo doesn't sponsor anyone, man.
no.
They
Nintendo
barely even-
doesn't really even put its games on sale except for
Yeah.
Black Friday throughout
They don't
the
even
year.
sponsor their biggest competitive game they have. Wait, actually no. I think do they sponsor the Splatoon stuff? Because I know
God, they
Splatoon's
might,
actually.
right?
I think Splatoon's actually might be up there. They might actually sponsor that, but I know they don't sponsor any Smash events,
Right.
which has to be like one of their biggest games that people
Which I don't
have
under-
tournaments
have
for.
you seen
national
all of the
rankings? You know.
knockoff Smashes that exist now?
Oh, I think you're probably referring to the Nick All Stars brawl.
Yeah, the Nick All-Stars brawl.
Yeah, I have, and I've seen play of it, and it's definitely not for me.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can understand that. Now,
Why is that?
I'm living with my girlfriend now.
Yeah,
and she's got
yeah.
a roommate, and her roommate's got a kid.
Okay,
And he's got a couple cousins that bring their kids over as well.
Sure, yeah.
And they're
What's
all
the age
among
range?
that age. So in that age range, it looks like something I want to.
What is that?
Punch
What is
them
that
in the
age
face. Between. I don't want to say between 9 and 11.
Okay.
But how about 10 and 12? then?
Okay, sure.
Was there something we were supposed to remember about that?
What do you mean?
Or something we were supposed to never forget?
Oh,
Yeah.
now I get. Wait,
No, I'll probably.
Anyways,
I'll probably.
so-
cut that.
I'll
This
never
isn't
forget
airing,
10,
right?
12, dude.
Yeah.
This is airing live.
God, okay, let's go to callers then. Callers, what do you think
No,
about
we don't
the joke I
have
just
them
made?
yet,
Do you-
Alex. We don't have them. Yet.
God, I keep jumping.
It's all right. No,
answering this
you're
phone.
fine. You're fine.
It's not
They
plugged
will
into
be
anything.
here though.
Good.
And I don't know if they're here. I don't know if that necessarily makes them callers. If they're
Yeah,
like
that's
here.
kind of like. It's kind of like a loaded question there. I mean, the
Yeah.
Wii U's it's shite. Its specs, its everything was just garbage. For what, $300?
I don't remember at all. We circled back to the Wii U people, and
Yeah,
I
Apparently.
don't remember how much it was. I also personally, the only person I ever knew who had one was our friend JC, and I think he said he enjoyed it.
I had
From
one
what I can
friend who
remember.
had one.
I think he said he enjoyed it from what I
yeah,
can
he
remember.
did. But and I
yeah.
think there was a really cool zombie game on there. You could like hold up
Oh,
the thing, and, like
yeah.
see things, and like X-ray or some shit.
Like through the tablet, but yeah, I
didn't
personally
our-
never really interacted with one whatsoever.
I think Levi, our mutual friend Levi, who
Yeah.
definitely hope you're listening right now. Levi, give us a call in.
Oh wow, Levi.
Add to this story. I think he had one for a hot second,
Really?
didn't he? Because that's where we
I have
played
no
that
idea.
zombie game. It was like a British zombie, right? And it was kind of
no
like
idea.
that. But if that tells you the problem with the Wii U, is I can tell you specific amazing moments that happened on GameCube, N64,
Yeah.
and now the Switch. Even with having again more kids around my day to day, they get me to play those Super Smash Brothers games more than I would in my own time.
I think, man, what was the put off about buying it though? Was it the price range or like what? Why didn't
I can't recall.
I really
there was
can't either?
nothing
But I
with
know
it,
that there
right?
was something. There was something that just made me not want to buy it.
So Nintendo, feel free to call in. Tell us how and why you failed the Wii U.
Please, please. Oh man, who runs that? Is his name Miyamoto? Is that his name, Miyamoto?
I watched a movie called 8-Bit Christmas that is
Yeah.
on HBO Max for you guys out there. Did you
Okay.
watch that as well?
No.
8-bit Christmas.
It is very much Neil Patrick Harris doing a very good rehash of A Christmas Story, as in older adult Neil Patrick Harris is narrating his Christmas in the late 80s, where all he wanted for Christmas was a Nintendo, not a Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah.
And it just modernizes that kind
That
of
story,
storytelling
right,
for
yeah.
it a bit. And
Kind of maybe to like keep it alive for like the future. Yeah.
And you know, the movie's like an hour and a half, runs real crisp,
Yeah.
has some solid jokes. It's a decent Christmas movie.
Yeah. Because I
But-
can understand that problem now is because
Yeah.
there's like probably so many references in the original Christmas story
Mm-hmm.
that kids nowadays probably wouldn't even.
Well, even the big one, the glaring issue is the Red Ryder BB gun itself.
Yeah, probably promoting.
Yeah, you can see people getting
buying
upset about that. Whether
I mean,
no matter how
yeah,
you
yeah.
think or what your opinion is, you can
Sure.
see people would be
Yeah, there would be
upset
some
about
people
that.
getting upset about that. Yeah.
So
okay.
moving it up to Nintendo, but one of the things
Yeah, it
I
would be an
noticed-
airsoft gun nowadays. Maybe BB gun.
I don't even think it'd be a
It wouldn't be
gun.
a gun. That's why it's a Nintendo, and they moved it up to the 80s, is because it can't really be a gun in any way, shape, or form.
And honestly, Nintendo's better. Wanting
Yeah.
Nintendo's
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
And
Got more out of that.
And that's what all kids would think nowadays too. So
especially
makes
in
a lot of
old
sense.
Nintendo.
Good job,
and you
Neil.
think I've worked retail for about 4 years. I quit a little while ago.
Hmm.
So I've been on the ground floor for the last couple Christmases of Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And how much there is that talk among kids of, I want a Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it's not bad to market your original 80s version. But what I noticed about Nintendo while watching this, getting us back to our point, because, hey, callers, we don't sway too far away from what we're talking about. We are focused, directed.
It is just a curvy
We're
road,
sharks.
but we're going
There's blood in the
straight.
water.
Blood in the water.
Right after it.
And that blood comes from the Nintendo Power Glove. Because that is a significant part of this movie. Is the Power Glove that they sold that was supposed to have movement functions and play as a hand.
Yeah.
Nintendo has never given up fully on that idea. If you look at from the Wii to the Wii U to the Switch,
Yeah.
it still feels like it needs muscle control and it wants you to wear it as a headset instead of being a game.
So you think it's just going to eventually flow into some VR?
No, I think that Nintendo is just trying to make fetch happen and refuses to let go of the idea of using motion control controllers, even when they don't get them right. Like with the Wii U or
Okay,
early
I see what
Wii
you mean, 'cause
stuff.
there is still,
they
like-
never give up on it. They
Yeah.
just continue doing it.
Yeah.
A Power Glove of some different version that is insisting that you play a game in a different way than how you play games.
Because, yeah, you do have sometimes, like, you do use the... like, I think the only one I really know is, like, Mario Party. Like, you can, like, lift the thing
Right.
and hit the cube.
It's pretty
like,
much everything in Mario
the
Party is
Joy-Con.
some kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
some
It's
variation
fun.
of that.
I get why
Yeah.
they keep making it of that, but they have not given up on the idea of
No.
moving your hand around instead since the 80s.
Yeah. They,
And it
yeah.
doesn't matter how many
They want
Wii
you to
Us
move a
they
little
gotta
bit.
kill.
They actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, which is, I like that. I like
I get that.
I
I
like
get
it.
that.
I like it. Because I could tell you the amount of times I've sat in a computer chair playing a computer game and haven't moved anything
Yeah.
but my hands and wrists and my eyeballs for like probably 8 hours on end.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
And then you stand up and you're like, I probably should have done this 15 times in between all of that length
I
of time.
can't
I just
feel my knees
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some
It was
reason, my
one of the-
ass hurts. I was
Yeah,
just
I don't know
sitting
what
on
that
it. That's
is.
weird.
Quick thing about the Wii U: the console contains 2 gigabytes of RAM. So that tells you right there that thing is pretty shitty.
Oh, we're getting into the specs of it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
2 gigabytes of RAM. When did it come out?
I think the only specs that you need is that
2013.
within, was it maybe a year, 2 years, Nintendo gave up on it and started working on something else. That doesn't tell you enough when the company's just like, hey, forget it, move on. It's the Star Wars Christmas special and we're never talking about it again. Keep going.
Yeah, this really is like the ugly stepchild. You know, you just kind of stash away. I don't know.
So we'll chalk that up to, how do you feel about the Wii U? Give me 3 words.
Who had one?
That's good.
If that isn't enough.
That's good. The only, like I said, the only person I can remember is JC.
No, this is
Look
the one
how
I
bulky
just
that son of a gun is, though. Look at that. That's big.
And I think they're
It's like
all,
a dinner tray, you know?
And for
Yeah,
some,
people are probably using it as a dinner tray right now.
What? There's no way, man. That's like a relic. That's gonna be like worth money one of these days. Cause who the hell? Cause like, 3 words. Who had one?
who had one? Who had one?
You got one.
I don't remember. I didn't
He's
care.
sitting on a piece of Nintendo history.
It does kind of look like hospital equipment with the only
Yeah, I could
white
definitely
thing.
see
I don't
that.
know. It's just like, hello. Yeah, so you're here to see Dr. Mario? Right this way.
This next
Hey!
question is, I kind of have a problem with
It's a
Nintendo because of
terminal.
that. A terminal.
It's a terminal. The cancer. I'm a Dr. Mario.
Oh, now I get it.
I think he.
But do you think Nintendo knows that their graphics suck? Or do you think they just push on and they're like, yeah, man, this looks great. This is top notch. This is cutting edge. Or you think they're like, man, we are mediocre, but we're okay with that.
So I guess I'm going to just open up my chest while these 2 PC gamers take out their daggers and start stabbing me.
No,
I
no,
don't
that's not
think
it.
they care.
I think they have their
Because-
own niche and they stick to it.
Yeah, I would. That's my exact thoughts. Is
Yeah.
that they're trying to get this as a family playable system, and the cost of the Power Glove is that you can't get like true 4K ever under anything
Sure.
with it.
Yeah, I just think it comes from a lot of they don't like to show a lot of like actual violence.
Yeah, that's
There's not
true
a lot of
too.
like in all of like the mainstream games that you play from Nintendo. There's not a lot of blood. There is like violence, but it's usually like pretty mild. You know,
Right,
It's like
animated.
You could literally run. You could stab someone or cut someone with a sword, and they'll just some fucking bright light,
into
and they'll
dust.
fall backwards.
Yeah.
You know. And like because I think a big part of it is they want to make it accessible to families. Just for
Yeah,
because
they
that's
want it in
been,
your
that
living
has
room.
been Nintendo's
Yes,
thing.
that is Nintendo's
That
thing.
is Nintendo's
Because my
thing. It's
dad
like-
was not going to care too. He did not care for the Xbox. When
Right.
we got one.
Really?
He didn't like the controllers. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, I had a
well,
great
the
time with
controllers
it.
that count, the Xbox were.
The only thing I could
Why?
say
Because
for
they weighed 55 pounds
It was like
and had a 2-foot length of cord.
The original Xbox controllers were
Yeah.
a mess. It was
I
way
mean,
too
Yeah.
they
big.
revamped them in like I want to say 6 months or less.
Yeah, the Xbox 360 controllers is like the pinnacle of controller. Like that's where like every modern controller nowadays has shaped it after the 360 controller.
Right.
It's
Unless
like-
you're Nintendo and you're like, here's 2 sticks
Yeah,
that detach.
Nintendo does whatever it wants. They
Yeah.
don't care. They're real cowboy stuff. But like most modern controllers, when the 360 came out, they're like, oh, yeah, that's it.
That's
I
it.
get it.
That's how it should work.
Yeah. And like, well, PlayStation's really stayed the same too.
Yeah, I mean, theirs works too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a little bit different than the Xbox.
I've bought more PlayStations than Xboxes, but I think I've always enjoyed the Xbox controller more.
Yeah, it seems to fit better in the
It,
hand.
it
Yeah.
fit my hands better. It's a
Yeah.
little bit bigger. The early PlayStation ones feels like I'm
A little
crushing
thinner.
them with my
Yeah,
claws.
they're a little thinner. I think I have a PS4
With my
controller laying
hand
around here.
claws.
And I think I would prefer an Xbox controller. But now, saying that, I don't think I would use an Xbox controller because I've used a PlayStation controller for so long. So,
Yeah.
old dog, new tricks. Bow wow.
Bow wow wow.
Good.
Good question, Matt. And then we're going to take to our callers. Callers, do you have any questions about Nintendo?
The callers aren't, Alex. We haven't even got to break.
Oh, we get a break? Like a
Yeah.
lunch? Is that when we get the grilled cheeses?
No.
Yeah, there's
So you
no
recorded
there's no
this?
greenhouse
It's
here, or whatever the fuck you were
4:28
talking about
p.m. when
earlier.
we're recording this. I don't think that's when you eat lunch.
Depends on your shift.
Yeah,
you
I
said
mean,
you are already done with work.
Oh yeah.
You got to cut
He's
that
got
out.
you
We don't
there.
know for sure.
Cut that.
Cut that, cut.
Cut.
Podcast about podcasts.
I don't think their graphics suck. I think they are like that for a reason. I think if Nintendo wanted to do something like that, they probably could. I mean, they have
Yeah,
the
they
money
could.
to.
And the thing is, they would, and they get into this same barely different spec conversation between the Xbox and the PlayStation that happens every generation loss. And I don't care. Really,
Right.
because it's always minute. It may be some important things here and there, and your differences between which grade of the new system do I buy because X1 does this thing. But they're overall, I mean, the human eye isn't going to notice much of that. And honestly, my TV's 10 years old. It's not going to display anything that's new.
Really? You want a new TV for Christmas?
You ain't got 4K.
No, I don't have any space for another TV.
Oh, that's fair. TVs, they are this.
I'm trying to get rid of a TV so I can buy a new TV.
Is
What?
it how big of a TV is it? Okay,
Is
he's
this
pointing
TV?
at the wall. It's vaguely the size of half the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
I don't know
That's
how
that's
you.
an eighth or a
Why would you
quarter.
get-
You're out of your skull.
I mean, and this is again
It's not
people like
4K.
me playing Nintendo Switches that don't care that the TV's not 4K because I'm
Yeah.
really not noticing
Sure.
anything. Or if your PlayStation's running faster than my Xbox, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
see it. But for someone like our dear host Matt,
Yeah, that
who-
cares deeply about that.
Right.
deeply and is a PC gamer who adds things in order to make it go that good, and your TV's
Or
10
breaks
years
things.
behind,
Yeah.
you're kicking yourself in the knee.
Yeah, my laptop screen is like 144 hertz 4K, whereas my TV is 1080p. 1080p.
You do find TVs in your standard places, your Targets, your Walmarts, your Best Buys, that are 120 hertz. And they're not badly priced. TVs have come a long way.
Yeah,
The TV to get right now is the OLED.
the
That is-
LG's OLED or anybody's OLED.
LG's newest TV is pretty awesome, but it's really pricey.
Yeah.
Also, the company that produces the Bravo or Bravio
Okay.
series.
Yeah.
I can't remember what company that is.
First time.
The first time. Wow.
First time. I never got it. I just didn't get around to it.
Oh, cut that.
Breath
Well,
of the
no,
Wild.
okay, so you got maybe 5.5 seconds of
Oh, okay.
doing that before they're able to sue you.
Okay, cool. I didn't do
So
it
you're
for 5.5
okay.
seconds.
Tread
Don't cut that. Don't cut
lightly.
that. Don't cut
Because
that.
I think 2 lines of a Beatles song is like $4 million or
What?
something. That, yeah, you're not even allowed to get into a line of the note.
Oh shit!
But-
You might
That,
have
I mean,
to
that's
delete.
if they find us.
That's if
Yeah,
they find
for
us,
sure.
you
But
know.
I also sang George Harrison's something on
Oh,
one of
yeah.
the earlier ones. I
Well,
don't know if you cut that. But
I don't think he's suing.
Oh, cool. We're cool then.
Yeah, we're
But
cool.
also, it was with the Beatles. The
Yeah.
Beatles sang it, but like he
Yeah.
made the song and he like sang it.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So.
Dude, I know people on there's podcasts I listen to. They play snippets of everyone's music.
Right, because there is a numerical limit of how much of a snippet you're allowed to pay before you owe people rights.
Oh,
the
can you
Beatles
tell us that?
are
Can you figure
very,
that out for
very
us?
different than everybody else.
Yeah.
But again, it is like you are a farmer who decided to piss off Zeus, and they have to come down from Mount Olympus in their
Yeah.
life to obliterate you with a lightning
Yeah,
bolt of
yeah.
a lawsuit.
So we're good.
Because you're like, stupid Zeus, you said to your cow. And
Yeah.
then they're like, you don't say that.
Yeah. The cow tells us.
You get a note and a half, and then I'm coming for you.
Okay, cool.
Ooh.
All right, we don't have to cut that then.
It is a good...
New Metroid's good. Is what
New
I would say.
Metroid's good.
New
Yeah, that's
Metroid's
where we
very good.
started.
Yeah, I watched Tucker play a little bit of that. That was interesting.
It's very nice. I just enjoy the Metroid games.
Yeah.
That's
I
all
like a
really
good
boils
couch crawler, you know?
down to. Yeah.
I always enjoy that with kids and friends and stuff, of a Diablo-esque or
Yeah.
X-Men Legends or that kind of thing, Ultimate Alliance. All those guys are a good time for multiple ages, and that's why I think, and because I can sit there and watch something else, I haven't played like a AAA title in a while anymore. You know, what was the
What
last?
would you consider a AAA title?
Yeah.
So those are going to be, I guess my last one I can accurately say was 3/4 of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So is it an Assassin's Creed, a Call of Duty, a Halo,
Well, wouldn't
those
a Mario
AAA
Party be like that?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I guess
And Breath of the Wild?
I guess true. Yeah, Breath of the Wild would definitely be a AAA game. I
Yeah,
guess.
Yeah, it won the Game of the Year for the Switch.
But I'm about 3.5 years late to it.
Which is fine. I
Yeah.
played it like 2 years late to it.
I guess part of AAA games, when people refer to that, to me, it at least means that you are having a online presence.
Yeah.
In some major
And Breath of the Wild
way.
did, for sure. But
Yeah.
does it have to be active? Does the online presence have to be active?
And that's, I guess you're really looking at like marketing design. Because another AAA game I played, because was it last year? Around this time was the time of Marvel's The Avengers
Oh, yeah.
and Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, yeah.
And I bought all of those games that I
Yeah.
just mentioned.
Yeah.
That was not
Disappointing.
a great year.
Yeah, that's
I
disappointing.
saw
That's
there's
what
more
that is.
characters in Marvel Avengers,
Oh,
and
Roddy
you can now
Dog.
pay to level up.
Great.
Great, it's too
Great.
late now.
Have you've added one addition? At least they add free DLC. I'll give them that. But they just launched Spider-Man for PlayStation users only. And I'm like, okay, cool. I guess that's gonna be another year before you update anything for me.
Why the exclusives for like big names like that has always bothered
crazy.
me.
It's crazy.
always bothered me. It's like I have to pick a clear line in the sand here. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I want both of them. It's a video game. Stop.
Stop it.
Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes I'm just like, come on, man. I want that.
Yeah. Yeah. I want Spider-Man.
want
Of course I want
that.
Spider-Man. I'd like the game to load correctly too, but that doesn't always happen.
My worst
What's
example.
up, coffee?
My worst example of that is always for me is always Pokemon. When I buy like a Pokemon game, like either like a new one or just like historically throughout time, and I like playing it, and then I get to like the end, and I'm like, wow, I wanted that legendary Pokemon instead, but now my life is this one, so that kind of sucks.
Do you
Oh,
ever
because
try
you
to-
bought a red or blue or
Yeah.
shiny or pearl. Because Nintendo's been charging you twice for the same game, basically,
Right,
since
yeah,
the early
yeah.
90s.
I mean, nowadays it's not a problem. Nowadays the
Yeah.
internet exists with
Right.
with every console, so if you need something, you can just trade it to your friend. You
Yeah.
don't even have to leave your living room.
Right.
So that's always nice. But
Remember when you had
back
to
when I
connect
was
them by
like,
cord?
back when I was growing up, that wasn't a thing. You had it.
Right.
Yeah,
It just
and that was
wasn't
always
a
the
thing.
biggest disappointment for me. I was like, God damn, I want that one, but I got this one now.
I can only imagine explaining to my parents. But I need the other one, that's
Right.
the same one, to
And
get
I-
one
yeah.
thing. And they're
so
like,
I
nah,
just didn't. Yeah, there's no way. It's
There's
like,
no
this
way.
is my lot.
you better have a friend, kid.
This is mine, I guess. Which is fine. I
Yeah.
dealt with it. I didn't want to, but that's okay.
All right, well, let's take some calls.
Yeah.
Okay, first call is this guy that can't stop coughing.
Well,
I swallowed my spit incorrectly.
Is
Caller?
no one filtering
How can we
these
help you?
calls? Why would you let him get this far in?
No. Don't be so
Okay.
unforgiving.
Okay, I
How
guess
can we
we'll
help
take-
you, caller?
It's your audience.
Do you think you guys could, like, just sing me a lullaby?
I gotta say this because I thought of it before you said that you were stopping. After everything you've just done, I bet the listeners do wish I was instead chewing a grilled cheese in their ear.
Maybe. Yeah, that probably. Some of that coughing might have to.
hear me.
I 1,000% think they probably maybe not obviously as loud, but
Yeah, I'll cut that.
yeah, cut that.
Anyway, word from our sponsors.
Whatever the other word is.
I don't know.
Have you ever needed your teeth whitened? Katie from the Whatever Podcast here to tell you about a fantastic new product. We've partnered with Raymond & Sons Concrete Emporium to create Strong Jaw Dental Guard System. This FDA pending system has been proven effective in over 7 different countries. By combining Raymond & Sons fast-setting concrete and our patented The Whatever Podcast spray paint, you can achieve strong yet glamorous teeth, all from the comfort of your own home or the bottom of a river.
I watched. Last thing I actually sat down and watched might have been when I was living with you.
Oh, wow. I understand that. You video game. You do a lot of other
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, I just that, and I can't like really sit down and watch like a whole thing, a whole season. I probably just won't, unless I'm with someone else, and they're like, "Hey, I'm putting this on." I'll be like, "Okay, I'll be there. I'll watch
Yeah,
it."
we're about to watch that Arcane show. I'll tell you that.
I've
Yeah,
heard
that
Bryce
sounds
was
good.
telling me to watch
Sounds good.
that.
But the last thing that I can remember that I enjoy was when we got together that one night and watched all 000.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That show was
That show was
absolutely
really,
insane.
really
That
great.
was so good. Anybody who is hearing the sound of my voice and has a stronger stomach is how I would say it. Because there does some gnarly stuff does happen. It's a really good show,
It's a
but
really
like
good show.
really, really good show. But it's some gnarly stuff happens. So I don't want to shove people in that direction, and they come back at me like, "Hey man, this part happened, and what the fuck?"
Yeah, and there are lots of great WTF moments for
Yeah.
that whole show.
Oh, God,
and I
dude.
was really amazed.
I still love Mexican God, dude. I still follow that guy.
That guy,
Mexican God is-
man. He
He
just walks into
he was
a place
it,
and
dude.
owns it.
Oh, there was something we wanted to ask you. Could
Oh,
you
yeah,
explain
this
to
is
us what how a SAG card works and like what
So-
it really protects you from and shit like that?
SAG, like most things, and I'm not a member of SAG. I've never been given the opportunity, and I probably would if they asked me to, but they have not. You can get it in a couple ways, but basically it means that you are union certified, and that means X amount of money that you make is going to the union for union dues.
Okay.
And higher up pictures and movies, like if you think you have an indie picture down here at the bottom, and then you have a Disney Marvel picture going on up here. For the companies that are producing and creating all of the Disney and Marvel stuff, they are almost certainly have to be within working within those guilds, be it the WGA, the Writers Guild of America, or the Screen Actors Guild, SAG, or these different things, to employ, and like all guilds or unions do, you can do X amount of hours, you got to take a break here, you can't do, all the things that are in unions that are designed to protect. Some of the ways you can get a SAG card is you get a line in a movie, and then they have a process that puts you in kind of a middle ground.
Yeah,
where they've like paid X amount of money to the
they paid your dues because you're getting a line, and they move you into a different kind of like bracket, so to speak, where you're kind of in between. And then if you do either enough of those, or if they just pay your card, or you join and you pay your card for your SAG card, you are part of the guild, you are SAG certified, and that usually is the gap between what is lower paying or indie or simple commercials for like local things, and then national commercials and higher up stuff.
Do you
Did we? Wait,
I may be wrong on all of that, FYI.
Oh, okay.
I just speak
Well,
confidently.
we have pure
Uh,
experts on this
Oh,
podcast,
wonderful, wonderful. Are they
and you're the first one, so
good?
Yeah.
Good. I'm giving them a workout, and you'll edit this and make sure everything I said was correct and accurate, right?
Of course, of course.
of course.
Matt, did you
Great.
ask him the question that you said you were going to ask everyone about their stat block and what they would be?
No, I haven't asked him yet.
Okay, I don't know. I thought we might have, and I honestly forgot if we did not to be.
How honest?
No,
am I
that'll be
being
for
with
the
myself?
outro.
Okay. I thought we might have in the first half, and it's been a little bit, so I just.
I asked him the other question, then it's probably because I said. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
What's your stat block?
No. What was my question? No, I forgot that question.
The question that I was asking about?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so do you think there's a set number of lines that they have to have before they get paid? Because I know in like the 80s on TV shows, like on Star Trek, The Next Gen, if they had less than 3 lines, they didn't get paid. If they had more than 3 lines, they did, and
Yeah.
then they also would be part of SAG or something like that.
Right, and I think that I don't know for sure, but I think the difference is that if you get one line, you have to become a something, and you can stay in that middle ground thing for 3 lines. And then anything more than that is where they have to pay you as a regular or a speaking actor rather than a background or an extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a big pay jump. That's a big lot of paperwork people have to do. So it's always that rarity where you hear someone who's like, well, they gave me a line. Because some people are just like, yeah, this scene needs a little rhythm here. She needs to say something. He needs to say something. They need to say something. And just add that into the rhythm of it. And then, you get like those... When you wish upon a star stories, where you just came up from nothing, a small town nobody, and you worked your way all the way to the top of Hollywood.
Who are you trying to be?
It is a impression
Yeah.
of the dog I usually hang out with. His name is Edgar. He is my girlfriend's dog. He's a small little, we think it's like a Swedish Wolfhund.
Oh, the sweetest.
He's a little guy, almost like a corgi. And when you look him in his eyes, when his ears are up, in my mind, he sounds like, my belief is that he's a former New Yorker.
Uh-huh.
He's a 70s
Yeah.
New Yorker when his
He's
ears are up.
working.
But then he pulls his ears back, and he's just a sad, beautiful little boy who just wants some pets and some attentions. Oh, can I please have a piece of your cheeseburger, human? I love you
no,
so
I wouldn't give him a
much.
piece of the cheese,
Just
but I'd
a
give him a
little
pet.
nibble, just a bit of cheese.
I'd give him a pet for sure.
Oh, I know the pet feels so good because you love me so much. Maybe just a little bit of cheeseburger?
No.
You sure?
I am 1,000% sure I don't feed dogs because that means they come back to me wanting more, and that kind of drives me nuts.
You end up in a situation like I do, where he attempts to sleep on my chest, putting his head on my head at night.
Yeah.
He thinks that.
It's not that I don't love that kind of stuff. It's just it's my food and I'm hungry. It's usually how it boils down.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest. Back tech.
It's not even that. I mean, if they're dying, I'd give them a piece of my
Yeah.
cheeseburger if that's the case. Yeah, but you got some food in the bowl, man. Go get it. It looks like a piece of bacon, Katie. You're trying to tell me it doesn't. Come on now.
I think that they sent it like they do with that like vegan bacon. Like they have that
Yeah.
smoked bacon like
and that
liquid.
looks like bacon.
HelloFresh and BarkBox gotta stop using the same bags, man. It's getting
Yeah.
real difficult.
Listen, I'll
No, but
follow
like Three
this.
Dog Bakery or Dog Bake, whatever the fuck it is. They are edible for people.
Yeah.
But they look like people cookies. It's like the
Yeah.
little cream in
Yeah.
the middle with the vanilla cookie and
Yeah,
the vanilla
yeah, yeah.
cookie. Totally ate one thinking it was for people and it was not. But
Oh, so this wasn't voluntary.
no.
Oh, you've never just been curious, man.
Oh, I absolutely kibbled like a kid. I tried it.
Sure.
Like I
Right,
didn't
it's right.
ingest
Oh, a
it.
kid.
I went.
A kid, yeah. Sure.
I
mean, I wouldn't try
had a
kids,
texture
yeah.
issue, and
I
that
would
was not
try
even.
hard dog food.
I will
I wouldn't
admit
try
that
wet
the bacon
dog
strip
food.
was
That's
tried
bad.
wet
nasty.
I've tried dog treats.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'd eat
I mean-
baby food.
I don't think it's
That's
chemically
different.
that
It's, like, actually for
different from
people.
human food. Like if I went and got Taco Bell right now or bacon strips, which is worse for me?
I think they don't care about what they put in the dog food because they know fewer people will sue them.
Right, but bacon strips are put in a public place. They probably care.
I just don't think they probably taste very good. I think
They
dogs
don't.
get
They
stoked about
don't.
'em 'cause
I-
smell
Don't
good.
taste.
I'll follow this up with that. Yeah, I voluntarily tried it, but they don't taste good.
Yeah, I've never
Don't
tried
do
them
that.
just because I was like,
So you're not cooking it up on a Sunday morning?
No, not generally.
Plus, we never really. My mom never bought those. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
know.
It might not even
I
been
don't
mine.
remember
I might have
having
just
dog
maybe
treats
saw it
in
at a
the
friend's
house,
house and
actually.
picked it up and been like, you know what, you only live once.
Yeah. Alex, are you ready for the grand question that I
don't
ask
recommend
everyone?
that, by the way. Do
No,
not
I had
recommend that.
nothing to do with it. I was not in the area. And if you have any other questions, you can ask my lawyer.
Well, we have video proof, so
Oh my God, I gotta go.
Well, you are the first guest.
Yeah, so how's it a grand question?
Um,
Like you've never tried this question before, right?
right.
yeah, that's what grand.
By grand, I meant first time.
Grand doesn't imply that it hasn't been the first time. Like a grand moment can happen for the first time, like it is right now.
Yeah.
Again, you're trying to make fetch happen. You don't know if it's going to be that grand of a question if you haven't aired it yet.
I mean, what do the callers think? Why don't we take a caller?
You could just say he's christening the question for you.
Yeah.
Yay,
No, we're
that
sticking.
sounds
First of all,
good.
we're sticking by our grand. And it's ground,
It'd still be grand. I'm
and
just
it's
saying.
grand.
Yeah.
This is the grand question.
Well, someday you'll find out the truth. Anyway, the
Trade-
question
trade-
here
trade-
is:
sounds- everything seems above the board.
if you could create a D&D character in this reality of this time, what would the attributes be, and what would the big bad be that you're fighting against?
So, are you
I will give you an example that Bryce and Taylor both banded together and said capitalism.
okay?
As their big
I won't
bad
say
guy.
capitalism.
There's an
It's a
example.
Thank you.
very direct enemy that you can
So
have.
isn't
You
that funny
know,
about the first person
just a
to
question
ask the
of wait, what?
Katie, I have no idea what you're doing here and what you're saying, but that's not the kind of questions
That
we
was a
need.
mumble. I'm just saying, doesn't that imply that he's not the first person to get asked the question then? Since
No.
you just said Bryce and
What implies?
Taylor?
No, those were practice runs that we did
Oh,
before
okay.
this one.
Oh, thank God. 'Cause
I
Those are
just
practice
I
runs.
just
Those are
think you
practice
were trying to make Alex feel more special.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
no
yeah,
reason,
yeah,
and then you
100%.
just pulled the rug out from under
Well,
him,
no.
except you didn't even notice. and
I
then you
really
called
wanted
attention
this to be
it,
like the best
continue
question.
on.
No, because I feel very honored for being the first guest already.
Yeah.
So I don't.
He
I
is.
guess
The first real guest. I
He
see.
is.
I didn't know that was the
Real
the
guest,
thing.
Yeah, he's. Well, yeah, we had we had to
Practice
like
rounds.
trials.
Oh.
Yeah,
Thank
to make
God.
sure that this was the
Because
best.
the email did say, "You sure you don't need my grill?"
There was no
we
email.
don't. No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, well,
That'll
I'll
be
just
when you
keep
go
this
home.
I'll
electric-
stop disrupting.
Okay.
You're never disrupting.
That was disruptive.
I don't think so.
Your stat block, my goodman.
What? So, is there magic? Is the first question.
Is there magic in the real world?
Yeah.
Are you do you
Christmas
know
magic?
something
I
that
guess
we
right
don't?
Yeah, there
now
could
it
be
would
miracles.
It would be a good. Wow. Okay. So I can do full miracles, go full cleric, just start healing people, or are you
Better
saying
be
I gotta say
rolling real
martial?
high for that.
No,
shit.
I mean like
I think I do better than. I'll tell you this much. I think I do at least better than the standard array on most stats in D&D. If you go by your 15, 14, 12, 13, 10, 8. I think I score higher than 10, at least like base 0 on most things. I think
Okay.
maybe I got like a strength of 4, maybe a dex of 3. I'd like to think my charisma's at 5. Maybe that's not. Call in and tell us at the Whatever Podcast and let us know what you think my charisma score actually is.
Okay.
we don't have a number, but we have an email to whatever podcast@gmail.com.
It's at the bottom of your screen right now.
Yeah, damn it.
This is an audio podcast.
Probably
What
not
are you
great on
talking
Constitution because I've had a runny nose all week, and I'm a not a hardy gentleman most days, but I can't eat dog food and not get sick. So maybe
Yeah, I've done that.
my
I've done that.
Constitution is pretty good.
I don't know.
Intelligence is okay. Wisdom not great.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Okay.
Learned a lot of mistakes the hard way.
Which
I
is
guess
his
if we're
own
only
wisdom.
doing martial classes, I'll take barbarian just so I can get crazy person strength for a little bit and just start swinging.
Cool.
Do
Okay.
a little bit
cool.
barbarian.
Who you
I'd be
fighting,
a
bud?
Barbarian. Who do I?
Barbarian.
Barbarian would be a nice
That's
stretch. You
actually
can't do
really
both
good.
at the same
You
time,
beat
but
people with a guitar.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
For another example, Taylor, or when our practice rounds, Taylor said he was a bard, which I thought was funny.
You've
real
had
life.
Taylor in for a practice round?
Yeah, that's what I said. Taylor
So-
and Bryce were our practice rounds.
So I mean,
Just
2 practice
preliminary
rounds just
trials.
seems like
Why
a-
are you getting so upset?
You're
They
right.
haven't
I'm,
even.
I'm
they're not
insecure.
even
I'm just
aired.
insecure. I'm just a little
It's
insecure.
okay. They haven't even
worried.
aired yet.
You know,
They're
it's
just. They're
Katie
just.
over here is giving me these weird suspicions.
Well, that's
like,
okay.
Maybe this isn't exactly.
Well, maybe you're
above
just
board.
paranoid for no reason. I don't know.
I could be. I could be.
Well, I would certainly hope.
That I'm paranoid for no reason?
Yes.
I guess that is better than being paranoid for a whole bunch of reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like
Exactly.
there's
A lot easier to
disease
deal
and
with.
plague out there
No.
and the world's on fire. So
No,
this
no,
is all, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason. You're fine.
Are you still paranoid if you have a reason, or are you just suspicious at that point?
Are you saying that there's a reason, Katie?
No, I'm just
No.
now. I'm just like
Thank God. I was so worried. Oh.
that. Just made me think about it for a second because I was like, wait a minute. Paranoid implies that the person doesn't have something to worry about. So what if you do? Does that mean you're no longer? Does that transition out of the paranoid realm and into another?
Facts.
Sorry, complete segue that had nothing to do with anything. You can continue back on your. So wait, since you're doing a real life though, you are making a lot of allusions to like D&D language. But I need a real life visual example. Like, are you like a burly football player who's also in show choir?
Yeah. What's up?
That would be perfect.
You know what I
I would
mean?
love
'Cause I'm,
that.
like,
Was
trying to
kind of
see-
if you change it to
Like a total
hockey
himbo.
player.
Don't
if you
like
change
some
it to
NFL
hockey
players?
player, that is
yeah.
me in high
The
school.
hockey player who also is like, I don't know, you're in the musicals. Or you're in
Yeah,
show
a
choir,
song
you're
and
the
dance
fucking-
guy who occasionally got way too drunk and broke.
Yeah, because you're really
things.
good on your feet if
Yeah.
you're good at ice skating.
Right, so good enough dexterity. Strength's
Dexterity
all
for
right.
sure.
Charisma's up there because I'm just a people person.
Well, and
but
you,
wisdom's
you
the dump.
obviously-
Wisdom's
if you're in
well
show
like
choir
mine.
and
Dump
you're in
somewhere,
musicals, Like the women
Right.
are not afraid of you, which is
Right.
the women presenting folks are not afraid of you. So that's a good power to have.
It constitution's low because sometimes when I get
Charisma
sick, I
and-
just give up and I just stay in bed all day.
Yeah, and someone might actually.
Like most
bring
people
you.
should. Who are you fighting? I don't know who you're fighting. Still.
That is a very interesting question.
It
Who am
doesn't
I
have to be
fighting?
who. It could be what.
Yeah.
It could be.
It could be the man. You know.
I mean, the man is always the best. I'm trying,
PTA.
and part of me is also trying to find bad guys that I haven't actually already DM'd as.
It could be
and like
Sears.
intentionally. Sears is a good one to fight, even though they're gonna roll over a little bit.
Thinking of the principal and Breakfast
Sears-
Club.
Sears
now,
used to be
but,
really
like,
big.
Bull, you're gonna get the
I'm like,
horns. Yeah, I think that especially if we're doing a high school set campaign,
I don't know
I'm
why,
the
yeah,
kid
sorry,
who's
I brought you
trying
to
to
high
go
school.
against the established order of whatever our Dungeons and Dragons high school is.
Okay.
I'm definitely rallying against the principal.
Our Dungeons and Dragons high school is life.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, yeah, that happened, but I like it.
Word.
I can get down with that. I think the easy answer for nowadays is that you're fighting some kind of abyssal poison god named COVID and its bastard creation Omicron,
Yeah.
which do sound like D&D names. If I was like the Lord of Darkness COVID and
Didn't
its
they
sullen son Omicron.
Didn't they skip 2 of the numbers in the alphabet in the Greek alphabet? when
Oh,
they went
those are
from-
actual things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alphabetic.
I thought it was a group of scientists playing who can make the scariest name for this.
I'm pretty sure in between the two is
Yeah, that makes sense.
NU, which is pronounced like new, which I can understand why they didn't name it that because like the
Right.
new, it's like confusing. And then I'm pretty sure it comes XI, it's like Xi or something like that. And I'm pretty sure China's president wouldn't be happy if we just went and named a virus after him. But they just skipped 2 letters, so
He
that
definitely
was
seems like a
I
guy
mean
who could
numbers,
take a joke.
not letters. That was weird.
Do you?
That's just a random thought I had.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Alex, do you have any other other recommendations for people or anything that you wanted to bring on the podcast?
Always check your references.
That's
fair.
sage
Sound
advice.
knowledge.
Safe advice. And you know what? Even if everything's on fire, it's going to be okay. Because
As
you
long
get
as you
burned
have
in the
water.
end. And that's great. Right?
Yeah.
That's what the hot plate's for.
No.
So
I still didn't get any
okay.
grilled cheese.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 1,000% sure.
Okay.
My stomach is telling me.
Oh, in the email it said I was going to do an ASMR bit with grilled cheese, and they were supposed to provide the grilled cheese. I brought this hot plate.
No, I think you misunderstood the email. You were supposed to bring both.
You read it upside down, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense because my phone screen isn't rotating right anymore.
Yeah,
so, okay. So I was supposed to be... I'm really sorry, guys. Also, why does the invitee have to pay for the lunch if I'm the
first guest. I mean, I'm sure you guys are going to work these kinks out when you get more guests
Because
on.
it is
Well,
a total
and,
and
treat 'em a
massive
little bit
honor
better.
to be the first guest, and
Yes,
all we
it
asked
has
of
been.
you to do was bring a hot plate and grilled cheese,
And I brought the hot plate.
and you didn't bring the grilled cheese.
Don't use your facts.
You know
on
what?
me.
I think we
don't
might.
need your
You know what?
facts.
Actually, I think we might make this the third episode now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we
Third
might make
episode.
this like the third episode now because
Just
you
threw the gavel
missed the
down,
grilled
like,
grilled
Judge
cheese.
Judy. Like, looking at me does look like Judge Judy behind that chair right now. I want a gavel for you so badly.
Well,
But it has to be a not a loud gavel. Can I get you a soft gavel?
that's fine.
Squeak,
That's
squeak.
fine. I would love a gavel actually.
Squeak 'em, squeak 'em.
But Alex, I
I'm just really glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's very nice to have you, Alex. You're a great time.
that's what I was gonna do. Is thank you. Come on, but don't worry. We're gonna have you on again.
Okay.
Talk about a different topic.
Will I be like the 6th or 7th guest?
Probably 15th. But if you take out the 5, that's 1.
Number 1.
Yeah. So, do what makes you happy, people.
Yeah.
As long as it's not hurting anyone else.
Thank you, Katie, for
True
joining
that.
us as well.
Yes.
Thank you, Heidi. Is she getting paid the same as me?
Of course, she's getting
Paid the
paid
same.
more. You fool!